What's going on, guys? Alex here, and today this is a video that's been long awaited for a very long time. It's obviously, as it probably states in the title, the reveal video for the Penelope. It's taken me, I believe, roughly 4 months, I think. I'm pretty sure I unboxed it somewhere in the middle to late May, I think. And I've just been, chipping away at it, obviously over, doing work, going to work, being an adult and doing all those things. Slowly but surely, I was able to get through it and finally finish this Penelope. So, anyway, let's just kind of just go over it. I mean, basically, obviously some of the bigger issues with this kit specifically were the sanding. Was the sanding involved for this kit? Obviously, I knew going into it that this would involve a bit of, taking care of flash and, just doing a lot of labor-intensive work as far as making the parts look clean. So there was that. But as far as the kit itself, I would say general build quality is iffy. I mean, obviously, if you were to compare this to a Bandai kit, it would probably be a lot better to go with something with Bandai. But obviously, being that the Penelope Gundam design is not, produced by Bandai in any way, shape, or form, other than like action figures and little toys and stuff like that. I wanted to try it, give it a try, and yeah, turned out to be a lot of work. But yeah, so I would say issues with the kit probably would be fitting issues as well as peg weakness. That was a really big one. I think I broke maybe like 3 pegs, and some of the parts are like super glued on there, unfortunately. So just a little bit of poor design on their part, I'd say, but nothing you can't fix with, maybe a pin vise and, a paper clip or something like that. But yeah, there is that issue, with a lot of like, the ball joints and like pegs not really fitting in very well. So I've had to do a lot of, shaving down in terms of, ball joints as well, on top of pegs, I guess. But another big issue was probably as far as fitting. A lot of the times the pegs were a little bit too big to fit into the holes. So I'd done a lot. I think I've done enough peg cutting for to last me the rest of my life. Seriously, I've shaved down pegs. Like, if this was the peg, I was like straight up just cutting down straight down the middle just to get it to fit. So that was probably another big, one of the really bigger issues with this kit. Seam lines is obviously a big one. I didn't bother because I knew I was going to paint it and stuff. And honestly, I was just like, screw it. I just left some of the seam lines on there. But overall, I would say it's not for beginners, especially if you want it to look really nice. But it is a pain in the ass to paint. If you're gonna go through the tedious process of sanding every single part. I think I counted something like it was more than 350 individual pieces that I painted. I probably should have done sub-assemblies and then painted it that way. But I guess hindsight's 20/20 honestly in any of the projects. So yeah, 3 broken pegs, a lot of frustration and tedious hard work. Later, we've finally come to, an ending where I think the hard work that I've done has paid off in the form of this kit looking pretty badass. So let's just go straight into it. I'll explain to you some of the things that I've done. If you're curious as to the colors that I've used, I'll put a list of all the colors that I used down there in the description below, and I think that's about it. So let's just jump straight into it, okay? Okay, guys, so here we've got the Penelope up on a stand, and it's proving quite difficult to film this thing because it's so large. I would say it's even probably taller than your average master grade. And as far as modification goes, there wasn't a whole lot of modification that went into this specific build. And so, yeah, pretty much this was pretty much straight build, where I just kind of sanded all the parts down and just got it prepped for paint. I didn't really, I don't know. As I mentioned before, I'm a pretty big purist, so I like the original design that it usually comes in. So yeah, as for me, the modifications were actually quite minimal. I did go with a very interesting color scheme, as you can probably tell. I tried to do away with the yellow, so I've replaced a lot of the yellow parts with a Gaia Notes, I believe, Gaia Notes Lavender. And so you can see some of the little accents on the side there. I thought it was a cool little, nice little touch for, just kind of sprucing it up a little bit. So pretty much the bulk of the colors is basically some form of white. There's pretty much 4 variations, and I've mentioned this before, but basically I've painted 2 colors white, one with a gray primer underneath, and then one with a white primer underneath. But to create 2 subtle changes and variations in the white, as well as 2 forms of pink, where I basically just took Gaia Semi-Gloss White and I kind of coated it with fluorescent red and I believe some of the mica red that I had lying around. So I mixed that up. That was just totally eyeballing it. I can't tell you exactly what color it was to get that pink, but yeah, so there's 2 colors of pink where I primed it underneath with gray and I primed the other one with white, and then laid down the pink on top of there. So you can see some of the pink parts going on in there. This is a very heavy kit, but yeah, some of the pink on there just to give it a little bit of a variation in tone, I guess. So and if you can see for like some of the thruster side parts of the legs and the, I don't know, I guess groin. This is just Tamiya spray paint. I just had it and I thought it would be a cool color to do. I didn't get around to decanting it, so I just kind of just laid it on there. So that's a metallic blue, along with that piece up there in the head. And then pretty much everything else is white. There is, oh yeah, I laid down the reds in a mica red, which comes in the form of a spray can, but that I had actually decanted, and so I sprayed that on there for the V-fins up there, this under the cockpit here, under the parts of the body, and then the feet and that. And pretty much, just typical silver and stuff like that. I'm really loving how the binders on the legs came out, because yeah, I was pretty happy with the way the legs came out. So if you look at the legs, I'm just loving how the the decals came out on that. I spent probably a good like 3 hours just on doing the leg parts. But yeah, I mean, I think it came out pretty cool. And then we have here the butt. It looks kind of like the Neil's Young butt or the old butt. It's just really big and wide. But yeah, that came out pretty cool. I don't want to be moving this kit around too much because frankly, it's I don't know, the freaking kit itself is fairly fragile. So but yeah, you can tell it's it's nice and shiny there. But yeah, I'm really, that's my favorite part of this whole kit, the butt. It's nice and pink, and I don't know, it just came out really cool. So yeah, there is that. And so yeah, I'm just kind of going along as it is. So I just want to zoom back out here. Yeah, so anyway, not a whole lot else. I just used this fluorescent orange, this that was just kind of lying around that I had. So I don't know. The decals were a pain in my butt. Let's just say that, because there's a lot of them, and I think I think a lot of people would probably lament at the fact that this this kit tip actually came with like a good like A4 sheet, 8.5 by 11 sheet of decals, but I don't know, there's not a whole lot else I want to really explain. It's just decals and paint and just the kit in general. So anyway, I think I'm gonna stop ranting here, and I'm gonna just let you guys enjoy the kit. So so let's just jump straight into the Gundam photo shoot and video shoot, I guess. And anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's just jump straight into it. Bye. So that just about wraps it up for this Penelope reveal video. Thank you guys so much for watching and just joining in on the live streams and hanging out and just supporting me throughout the tedious process that was this build. So anyway, I'm not completely sure what the next project will be, but I reckon it's probably going to be something really simple to kind of get the palette cleansed a little bit or something like that. So yeah, just stay tuned for more content, and we'll probably catch you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.